Okay, so we're on top of Beis Zayin. So we're saying that the principle that allows the interconnectivity, so to speak, amongst the various koiches it is due to the fact that in each koyach there is actually all the koiches. Clearly, it is very subtly there. It's not identifiable. It's not noticeable, but it is definitely there. And the reason that it is there is due to the fact that this koyach too is rooted in the etzem, and in the etzem there is inherently everything. Moshe is hakol. As one, as I realize, as I'm saying, one point that needs to be clarified. Etzem is every point of the etzem is the whole etzem. There is not, the etzem contains many different qualities. Each quality occupies a different place, like in the human being. Each quality, each koyach has a different place. There's the brain, there's the heart, there's the hands and the feet. Etzem is etzem throughout. Every spot in the etzem is the whole etzem. And therefore in every spot of the etzem there is all the koiches. This is the meaning that etzem is noises hakoil. And therefore, in essence, because that each koyach is actually rooted in the etzem. This we discussed yesterday. Therefore, in each koyach there is also all the koyachs. But while the koyach is identified uniquely by its own parameters, like chesed and gvura and so forth, then they are opposites. Each koyach is unique to itself. But again, inherent in that uniqueness are all the other koyachs. Let's continue on top of Beis Zayin. V'kasher mischalek l'chalokim. And when this unique koyach, mischalek l'chalokim, is divided into its parts, u'mizgalim haprotim sheboy, and all the protim that are contained within this koyach, are revealed. Mizgale gam hakoyach ha'afochi sheboy. So then the koyach ha'afochi, the opposing koyach, the opposite koyach that is contained inherently in this koyach is also mizgale, also reveals itself. Ve'alidei zeh, and then as a result, this is what permits the hischabrus, the joining, and even more than his chabrus and his kalalus, inter-inclusion. The k'moi shehu bebchinas pshitus, which means this, that the way the koyach, in the state and in the sense that the koyach is bebchinas pshitus, which means that its components are totally unidentifiable. It's just the reality of the koyach itself. Hagam sheyesh boy behelem, although that there is nevertheless behelem in this koyach in a subtle way. Gam hakoyach hafochi, the koyach, the opposite koyach as well. Nevertheless, harehu behelem oid, but it is extremely deeply concealed. Shein a nik or klal, that is not noticeable at all. Umashu be his galus, and that part which comes to his galus, which comes to expression, hu ra koyach echod poshut. It is on exclusively one koyach. Poshut means on an essential level, like we discussed several times yesterday and previously. Poshut means that it is that this koyach is there not because of some functionality that is demanded of it. It is not a composite, a response to some circumstance. It is there because there is a reality in this koyach. Poshut. So when it is in itself, this koyach poshut, just this, and like you wouldn't know that it recognizes anything else. And inherently within it, there is all the other koyches and its opposite as well. And when that koyach is broken down to its components, then you can see the various components, various differences. Pardon me. Thank you. Again, I want to give us a little bit of a significance to this. What's the point? It's a koyach echad poshut, and then it's contained in it all the koyches. If we maintain a perspective as to what the point is, we have a completely different means of relating to this. The point is this. Again, going back to the quote from the Rambam. Me'amitis himotzei nimtzu kol hanimtzoim. There's a truth in existence. Existence is not merely a response and reaction to some circumstance. Now, this truth of existence, which part of existence is truth? Is it chesed? Is it gvura? Is it tiferes? Is it intellect? Is it midas? Which part of existence is the truth? And which part of existence can you exclude from the truth? The answer is none.
None you can exclude.
Huh?
None you can exclude.
Right. Everything exists. Chesed, Gvura, and Tiferes, and Ches and Chochmah, and everything exists only because the root of existence is truth. And in truth, everything is present. Everything has a place. One more step. If the root of everything is truth, as everything, so every individual thing, comes to expression, what justifies its existence is its root in the truth. Like we said yesterday, we always repeat that whatever a person learns to do, eventually it relates to his entire self, and he feels perfectly comfortable with it. Because everything is rooted in that nikuda of the truth, of the Yetzer. If it would just an entity, a standalone entity that cannot relate to the Yetzer, then he would be torn up by 10 different directions. You know the expression, I know how to walk and chew gum at the same time? Okay? So this may be, whatever it is, a Gavelik expression, but there is significance in that expression. Because walking and chewing gum, in essence, it's exactly the same activity. Because everything that a person is able to do ultimately is rooted in essentially in what a human being is, what he is, in the Etz. And there is absolutely no conflict, no contradiction, even though they're totally different activities. They all have their root in the essence, and therefore they all contain all the others. An interesting phenomenon in the perspective of reality. You come to a crossroads. You don't know which way to go, right or left. Right or left seems to be totally opposite. You go this way, you're going away from there. You go this way, you're going away from there. How can you make a decision? How can you give up this side or that side? What's the answer? Whichever way of these two you go, you're going into the same direction. The only thing is which one you'll encounter first, and which one for a second. If you go this way, you'll encounter this spot after you go around the globe. If you go this way, you'll encounter this spot after you go around the globe. But you're not abandoning anything from the reality of existence. You're identifying various parts of it. This part exists, and this part exists for the very same basic reality. Okay?
I understand we are relating everything to Etzem. I understand that going right or left
It's the same thing.
is the same thing, but what's with the idea of purpose?
A fair question. It says in Chassidus, particularly in the Rebbe Sichas, Friedrich Rebbe Sichas, about a masculine and oived. You heard the term masculine and oived? You heard the term masculine and oived. What were you? Masculine means somebody who focuses on the haskol, on the intellectual insight of Chassidus. A Noivid is one who focuses on the avoida part, on the integration and the following through on this haskol, the heart, the davening and the mitzvahs and so on. That's called a Noivid. So, masculine and Noivid are two different natures in the three people and two different emphases in terms of Avodah. But in truth, a masculine who does not recognize also Avodah, who does not integrate his Haskalah, is a false masculine. A Noivid who does not have Haskalah to back it up is a superficial Noivid. The question is, which one brings to the other? Which one is his emphasis? What path, through which path has he come to it? But it's essentially the same meaning. You're talking about Rotzu v'Shuv, right? Rotzu v'Shuv. Very different processes, very different pathways. What is the aim? What is he seeking in Rotzu v'Shuv? Exactly the same thing. If in the Rotzu he would be seeking to his own Haskalah and to get a diploma, it would not bring him to Shuv, because it's totally different. There's no correlationship there. In today's world, we have this kind of thing. You go to school, and you study, and you get some kind of a graduation title, and it means nothing to you in your life. It was a net waste of time, because it doesn't translate in the reality in which you're going to live. If you study and you apply it in life, then life and the study are one and the same thing. You're seeking the same thing. Okay.
Sorry, in the latter case, both are relating back to the etzem, whereas the diploma you're saying is just like, that's an example of something that, so to speak, would not be in the etzem of the
There is a very remote relationship, but essentially what you would say in that case, that a person subjugated himself into an activity that is not him. It's just for show.
Mm-hmm.
In a remote way, there is at some point some relationship. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to do it. But it's a very remote. Rebbe once said, he gets all kinds of covered and a recognition because he suffered for 4 years on the bench in a class.
On the what? On the bench.
Well, to become an engineer?
Whatever it is, not the studies, I don't teach him anything new. You acknowledge his suffering. Okay?
I understood the question from Daniel had to do with left and right, and then when he said, what about purpose? I thought he was asking about what about choosing between good and not good. Here left and right is equivalent. Choosing a purpose of a higher purpose or a lower purpose.
The question of purpose simply means if it's the same thing and you choose to go right because you have a purpose, choose to go left because what is the purpose? What is purpose about? If going one way or the other is going in the same direction.
If it comes to the same thing, what's purpose?
What's purpose? So as I'm saying, purpose is what is the keli for the other? What is the means by which you get to the whole thing? You go through the right way or go through the left way?
Not sure I'm following this. The answer is that it seems like...
Like I gave the mashal for Haskalah and Avodah.
What was the question? It was purpose?
The mashal of Haskalah and Avodah shows that each needs the other, but it's just a matter of emphasis.
Each leads to the other.
Yeah,
the question is, what is the path? What is how do you get to the other?
Okay, but in that mashal, they both are serving the same purpose.
The overall purpose. Everything comes from the essence of life. How do you fulfill the life element? It is through Haskalah or through Avodah.
Right. But you couldn't say the same thing about choosing good, v'charta v'chayim versus the opposite. In other words, those would be, that wouldn't fit the mashal, or it would also. I think that's the.
Well, the truth, even that would fit the mashal. As it says about Shuvah, it can reach more deeply than itself.
If it ultimately leads to tshuva.
Excuse me?
If it ultimately leads to tshuva.
It ultimately leads to connect to Elokus, and and ultimately the tzaddik has to become a Baal Tshuva. You say Baal Tshuva has to become a tzaddik, right? Mashiach is going to make Baal Tshuva out of tzaddikim.
Yeah, but comes a certain point you can no longer choose to take that route. You happen to have gone that way. Now you come around, you become Baal Tshuva, but you cannot.
You already have that. You already have the benefit.
So the Bechira is almost whichever way you go is towards truth.
We shouldn't take practical examples from. In other words,
Don't try it at home.
it doesn't really matter because anything you do. This is like how my brain is working. It doesn't really matter because anyway, it's going to end up the right way. So, what's the point anyway?
Oh.
This is the.
It's going to end up anyway. Let's say this. Let's say if you choose nothing and you just waste your time, ultimately it's going to come back and haunt you. You say, where did my life go to? So by you the tshuva will come from that method. It's inescapable that you have a real neshama. And all of the choices and everything that you select and choose at any given time, it is because you are telling yourself, or the Yitzhak is telling you, or you, that this is where you'll feel most comfortable. This is where you will be yourself. And it could very well be that it's the opposite. But at this moment, this is how you really, what you really do.
So what are you saying with that?
I'm saying go and do all the other stuff and come your hand away. You will reach the highest Madrid.
This is just nice as hakol, basically. This is an illustration of nice as hakol.
Right.
This is not a practical.
Not a practical. Everyone has to find in himself an akudus or eros. Okay, we can stand on that point forever and not exhaust it, so might as well go on. One nakuda, I would say. Without engaging your intellect and your koyach harotz and focusing in and making a choice, you will not realize what you are on doing. In other words, you cannot wait until the circumstance will pull you in this direction or that direction. A human being has to be in charge of his circumstance, not be the functionary of his circumstance.
It's better to be the functionary in the wrong way than It's better to be the functionary in the wrong way. It's better to be the
in the right way.
maker of the circumstances in the wrong way than it is to
Yeah.
be a victim of
The Rebbe, the
circumstances in
Frierdiker
right
Rebbe
way.
said, I hope no wrong, no erroneous conclusions will come. The Frierdiker Rebbe said that I can deal with, clearly with a tzaddik. I can deal with a Baal Taiva. I cannot deal with a part of a person.
A what?
One who is no interest in anything. How do you wake him up? About Taiva, you can translate and change this Taiva to something else. And show him, hey, exactly what you're looking here, you'll find here much better. There is some force behind this person, but he's totally neutral. Where is the Rotzen HaNefesh? All koiches are based on Rotzen. Without Rotzen, there is no activity.
So what's the Eitzah for that person?
Huh?
So what's the Eitzah for that person?
Hopefully, if you tell him that, he'll wake up.
That's why the Frierdiker Rebbe said that.
Huh?
That's why the Frierdiker Rebbe said that.
There's got to be a better answer than that.
Frierdiker Rebbe didn't give him a better answer than that.
All right, this is it for this morning. Let's go and prepare for that.
You say by Atik there is no left. This is right.
It's smaller.
In Atik there is no left.
Less smaller by
That's right.
I guess once you realize that left is really also.
Once you realize what? Once you realize that left also is going to.
Also the MS. Everything.
That's everything. Yeah.
It's inescapable. You can't escape
And there is no left.
doing right. Okay.